Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Africam Show. I'm always delighted to spend this time with you all. It's me, Kushala, if you don't recognize my voice yet. And we are starting off with a beautiful herd of elephants, a lovely breeding herd with a little baby as well. It's gorgeous. I think it's going to be an elephant kind of show today, and that's perfectly fine with me because I do love elephants. Anyway, remember that we're live and interactive, so send through your questions and your comments. This is the opportunity for all of you to be able to ask whatever you like when you're watching the cams. So ordinarily, you can tune into the cams whenever you like and, get a slice of the African wilderness wherever you are in the world. And then for this half an hour, you get to do this and ask any questions that you like. So send through the questions and your comments. Already we have Amber Code that says, Happy Tuesday, all. I'm ready for another great show. Thank you for your gift of time. My absolute pleasure. I love doing this for you guys. I really do. And I don't do it just for you. I do it with you, because it's an effort from all of us. You ask the questions and you're curious. And that's so important. That's fundamental to us doing what we do. So thank you. Aussie Jan too, of course, you got your coffee already in your hand. You say good afternoon, ready with my coffee. Hello from a sunny yet freezing UK, says Suki V. You hear those hardy-does screaming. Oh, look at the tusks on this one. In fact, all of them have really impressive tusks. A little bit of shouting as well. Marco Tagliavini, you say, hi, this is my new video made with my trail cameras. Is it? Well, these are our videos made with our Africam cameras. Oh, look at this little one. This is wonderful to see. So there's a little one right in the middle of your screen. There's some adults walking past. So this little baby hasn't gotten full use of its trunk just yet. And so it's got its whole face in the water, trying to drink. Now they'll do that for quite some time, and that's because it takes a long time to get full control of that trunk. There's so many muscles in there. We've spoken about that before, over 50,000 muscles in the trunk, and it takes a lot of practice and getting used to before the baby Eddie can use it for what it's meant to be used for manipulation, and of course for sucking up water. So at the moment, the only good way to drink is to plop its whole head into the water and drink with its actual mouth. Rolling Trouble, hi. You say hi, Trish from Washington. So good to hear your name, Rolling Trouble. I hope that you're doing well. Bob from Kalamazoo, yes, you say good day, Trish. You've got your Diet Coke in hand. Fantastic. Bob, I must tell you something. So, before can I even say met you, I had zero idea where Kalamazoo is. I thought it was actually a made-up word. First time that I heard you say it. And then recently, I was watching one of my favorite sitcoms from the 90s, which happens to be Frasier. And they were talking about Kalamazoo, and I pointed to the screen and I said, Bob from Kalamazoo. So look at that, Bob. You're sneaking into my everyday life. Now, I wonder if you notice, you can see that there is a group with the babies in the middle, and they're walking quite close together. There's a tiny baby there. And then there were a couple of older, larger adults that were kind of on the fringes. And they went very quiet. They still are now. Look how everybody's still. Only a few youngsters are moving. Then suddenly everyone starts moving again. I have a feeling that they're either talking to another herd that's close by, or they picked up on something that they didn't really like. And so that's why the group with the small baby was very tight, and those other adults are kind of not standing guard, but taking up this position of kind of making sure everyone in the herd is okay. So usually that would be the matriarch that does that, but it's not only the matriarch that will do that. There are other experienced, older cows that will also take up that kind of responsibility. Felipe, you say a hello from France. Hello, Felipe. Thank you so much for joining us so that we can enjoy the African bush together. Yuri Moore, you say good morning, saying hello from Gulfport, Mississippi. Wonderful. I love hearing where you all are from. It makes this show so special because I get to share my beautiful country with you and, of course, the beautiful wildlife. Dear NC, you say good morning from Seattle. As always, you say you've got your coffee ready today. Fantastic. Kelly Farrell, you say good morning and hello from Cleveland, Ohio. Wonderful. And then we got 5 girls that says good day to Shala and all the rest from Boise. You sent me a wink. You know what, 5 girls? Boise was also mentioned in Frasier. Look, all of you. You're all seeping into my personal life. And Grumpy Old Man, you say you've got a gal in Kalamazoo. Oh, do you? Does Bob know her? I wonder. Zygote, you say hi. Hi, Zygote. Thank you for joining us. And then Tammy says good morning, everybody. Ooh, those were a lot to get through. Thank you, everybody, for sending those through. Now we get to see or watch one of my favorite things, and that is to watch elephants swim. It's such a joyous thing to watch. They play so much. I mean, look at these two. These two look like bulls that have been following the herd, but we'll be able to tell properly when they get up. It's just, an elephant's body is so large. You know, a huge bull can be up to 6 tons. A cow, 3 tons. That's a lot of weight. And when you see them in water, especially water where they can submerge their body, you can almost feel the joy of being a little bit weightless, of easing the pressure on those joints from their sheer mass. And they tumble and they fight and they roll around. It's really, really beautiful. Now, if elephants were seriously fighting, it wouldn't be happening in the water. Because, you know, they're a little bit more out of control, or will not have less control over themselves. They'll be flailing a little bit. So when you see them, you know, tussling like this in the water, it's almost always them just playing around. And they also like to do it in pairs. It's so happy. Oh, Zygote, you can hear a black cuckoo calling. I can't hear anything at the moment. But if you're not sure what a black cuckoo sounds like, I always remember it. In fact, James taught me this. It goes, I'm sad. I'm so sad. Obviously, it doesn't say those words, and I can't whistle. I know, it's terrible. 31 years old and I can't whistle. But that's what a black cuckoo sounds like. Unfortunately, I can't hear it, but I hope that you guys can. It's a stunning bird. Oh, now we've got a little bit of thrashing. So you can see the elephant that's on the right. His tail is a little bit stiff and he's thrashing about in the water. So those are usually indications of elephants being a little bit concerned about something or reacting to some kind of stimuli that is negative. But it's also a chicken and egg kind of situation, because ultimately those types of reactions, the stiffened tail, the widened ears, the movement of the trunk, those are also indications of excitement, and excitement can be negative or it can be positive, you know. And so this guy, he's just excited. There's no threat around, but he's still displaying those behaviors. So it's important to know that ultimately those behaviors are signs of excitement. Being able to decipher whether that excitement is directed towards you in a negative way or is simply a result of having a good time, that's where it's a little bit more nuanced. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Dear NC, yes, you are absolutely right. Frasier was set in Seattle. It is my favorite sitcom, regardless of how cheesy it may be. I love it. Deb Adams, you say hello from Tiger, Georgia. This is amazing. I'm so glad that you could join us to watch these elephants having a good old time. Here comes his buddy again. It's, you know, just imagine two friends that are having a good time in the water and then there's a bit of a play fight. It's the same kind of thing. It could look aggressive, but it's not. So this, what the one bull is doing, he's not actually mounting the other. Yes, they will play mount to kind of assert dominance over other bulls, but in the water they do this a lot. And it's not really to assert dominance, it's more of just a playful move. And when you think about it, and if you're an animal that's not very dexterous, you don't really have hands and toes, um, what you're going to do is play with your body, fling your body around, move your body around, and that's what the elephants are doing. January Nemec, you say hello from Pearl River, Louisiana. This is beautiful. Thank you for joining us. Erie Moore, you also say that. You say thank you for sharing. Beautiful indeed. So stunning. Now, if you were wondering, and I'm sure that you probably are, elephants can swim. In fact, most mammals can swim. There was a study done on that was trying to identify which animals could swim and which could not, which mammals specifically. And so it was put into sort of an AI kind of thing, or into a program rather, not an AI, with an algorithm. And that's how we were able to determine that all mammals that walk on four legs can swim, because the modification of the gait of walking becomes their swimming stroke. And so elephants can certainly swim. I've seen them swim. But for us and some of the other great apes that spend a lot of time, on two limbs, not all the time, obviously, it's not bipedal, they can struggle to swim. So things like chimps and gorillas may struggle to swim, but will still be able to. The only animal that seems to have particular problems swimming, according to the algorithm, is the giraffe. And that's because of the shape of its body. If it were to use the same gait that it would walking and modify it for swimming, the center of gravity would tip its head into the water. And of course, nobody wants that while they're swimming. So elephants can certainly swim, and so can the majority of all mammals. Thank you, Bob. Bob from Kalamazoo has just reminded me that I've Got a Gal in Kalamazoo is a song by Glenn Miller Orchestra. That's not what I was thinking. That's not where my head was at all, Bob. Pamela Jean Painter, you said thank you for sharing this with you. It's lovely, from the UK. My absolute pleasure. In fact, all I'm doing is facilitating it. It's the fact that Africam has these beautifully placed cameras all across South Africa. Oh, what do we have here? Oh my goodness. Now, I'm not sure if this is F70 or Astarte, because both of them have been collared. I'm going to go with F70, but I'm not sure. We're going to get a closer look. Guys, this is amazing. The last time that I've only since been doing this show, I've only seen a predator on the live cam during this half an hour slot with you guys 3 times. The last time was the lions. The one before that was a jackal, which, I happened to see. And this time. So I think this might be F70, because there were recently questions about whether she might be pregnant, and this particular lioness looks a little heavy in her belly. Before we get into that, let me just say that it is very, very, very difficult to tell from just looking at a predator whether they are pregnant. And that's because they often gorge themselves. They can become very, very large very quickly. The most important thing to look at is their behavior. Is she separating herself from the other lions? Is she looking for den sites? Those kinds of things. Now, after a little bit of experience, there are certain things you can look for. One, swollen teats, mammary glands, that area looking quite heavy. And if I'm to be honest, although I wouldn't want to say for sure because it's so difficult, I would say that she could be pregnant. Because she is looking very heavy in the bottom bit of her belly, if that makes sense. So if this was just um, a belly as a result of eating, it would be a little bit more central, and you can see those are her mammary glands hanging like that. So Cindy Stain, you're asking, where is this? This is Tembe. So in Tembe, that's where we have F70, Ashtati, Greedy, the lions that we're familiar with. She's just behind the bush there. What a glorious surprise. So this is what, when you look for predators out in the bush, if you're a guide or a tracker, the ideal time is to do that at sunrise or at sunset. And we almost think, oh, it's not worth looking for predators around this time. But when it's overcast, when resources are abundant, it's summer, it's cooler than normal, a beautiful time. And this lioness F70 has shown us just that. Mr. Bryson Guy, you say lioness? Oh yes, it most certainly is a lioness. Not just any lioness. It's F70 and she could be holding some cubs in her belly. Kathy Barton, you say great seeing a lion. And then Suzanne Bowshier, you say hi from Michigan. You came just in time to see this lioness. Now I have a feeling that she's on the hunt. Either she's on the hunt or she's looking for other lionesses. The other lioness, which is her daughter. I say that because she is looking for something specifically. No, I was actually wrong on both accounts. What she's doing, because I didn't realize that there were elephants around too until I saw the top of their wrinkly skin and could hear the water. She's surveying the elephants. Now she's marking, she's scent marking, she's got her tail up in the air and you can see her back legs scraping the ground. Now she will be very wary to come close to these elephants. Because ultimately, elephants are the king of the bush. And lions don't really stand a chance. So she'll be very, very wary. This is fantastic. One of the most interesting sightings is to be able to see two animals interacting, two different species interacting. And I know that they didn't come into contact, but we know that she noticed the elephants and we saw her behavior change. We saw that she was definitely looking for something. Initially, I thought maybe she's looking for a meal, maybe she's looking for another lioness, but she was looking out at these elephants. And she became very quietly moving through the grass, slinking away, because she does not want to come into contact with these elephants. Mary Mammal, you say, ooh, you got here just in time. We love the lions, and a hello to all from Hot Springs, Arkansas. Hello, Mary Mammal. Always glad to have you on board. There we've got a bit of talking between the elephants going down. I can tell because everyone's standing still. I mean, they're most likely communicating about the lioness because elephants have a very, very sensitive olfactory system. So that's just their sense of smell is very sensitive. In fact, elephants can pick up cues on whether a plant will be digestible or easily digestible to them or not, just based on this smell. So plants release chemicals that are really volatile. So all that means is that it can be evaporated into the air very easily. And those cues get picked up by elephants. And so then they can decide, oh, this plant smells very tanniny. I don't think it's going to be very digestible for me. And then they will avoid that plant. So most definitely they would have smelt that lioness come through. But obviously they felt that it was not a particular threat. Otherwise they would have reacted strongly. And most of the time they do. So this was quite interesting that they didn't. Probably because they were on this side of the dam and the lioness was on the other. Though that doesn't usually stop them, I must say. Five girls, you're wondering how many lions have collars? So in here at Tembe, two of them do, F70 and Astarte. But if you're talking about in general how many have collars, I really don't know. But I can always try and find out and let you know. Although I feel that might be a difficult one to figure out. But I will give it a go, five girls. Cheryl Pittman Chandler, you say you'll be visiting South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Botswana next September. Lucky girl. That is amazing. You're so excited when you say that you love watching these clowns. And it's for moments like that, right? We're here watching elephants, chatting about how beautiful it is, how joyous they are in the water, looking at the babies, and out comes this lioness. You know how perfect timing has to be for that to happen. We have half an hour that we spend together, one Tuesday a week. And it happens to be that half an hour that this lioness has come out, and it makes me feel special. It makes me feel like we're in the right place at the right time. I think that was stunning, absolutely stunning. Ian Beach, you say thank you for the excellent video and your knowledgeable commentary. Ah, thank you very much. And that's from Ian and Elaine from the Isle of Man. So glad you've both enjoyed that. Yatima, you say this is beautiful. She really is a beaut. Doreen Ferdinand, you say good morning from Guyana, South America. Oh, that's stunning. I'm not sure I've heard your name before, and I'm not sure we've ever had anyone from Guyana before. So thank you so much for joining and taking the time to say hi to everybody and sending us a comment. Bob, you say, Bob from Kalamazoo that is, you say there were two other male lions at Tembe a couple weeks ago. That's interesting. So as far as I know, Tembe is a closed system. So I wonder if they've been introducing other lions into the system? Or what's been happening, but that's very interesting. Aussie Jan, yeah, absolutely. You say that she is a well-fed lion usually and often appears with a full belly. Yeah, she is. And that's why it's so difficult to be able to tell the difference between a full belly and a pregnant belly. And even that, I was saying to you that the pregnant belly is a little bit further back, closer towards the back legs. Even that, it's so difficult to tell, particularly if we're watching the cam and she's very far away. It's hard to tell. Although I did see a close-up of her belly, and it looked like she had some really swollen mammary glands. So we can always be hopeful that she has a litter on the way. But I think it's happiness, either way. Either she's very well fed, or they could be little ones. Good either way. What a fantastic surprise. I'm so happy. So, so happy. Now, I doubt that she's going to make an appearance again. She's going to try and avoid these elephants. She might lie down somewhere watching them, but I don't think that she'll come much closer. And we're back to our pool party. This can go on for hours. There have been times where I've watched this and there are hippos in the water that are getting very angry at the elephants intruding on what they think is their space. And they would be thrashing about opening their jaws wide, displaying, and the elephants would not care. They just have such a good time. Oh, thank you for that, Amberco. You say that M179, which is the big male that I've seen before, you say that he also has a collar, and that the two new males that you've seen also have collars as well. Okay, cool. So ultimately the only one who doesn't have a collar is Greedy. Is that correct, Amberco? Oh, they're really having such a good time. Elephants love, I mean, all animals love this time of year. It's a time of abundance. There's there's so many prey items. There's so many new lambs for predators. There are so many insects emerging from the ground to feed amphibians and insectivores. There's plenty of baby birds. There's beautiful foliage, grass. It's so green, and there's lots of water. So all animals love this time of year because it signifies abundance, you know. But elephants, I think, like it a little bit extra. And that one of those reasons is because they get to spend time swimming and cooling off in the water. And there's water all around, and elephants are heavily water dependent. And the second reason is that marula fruit are in season, and elephants go crazy for marulas. If you haven't tried a marula, it is a really, really nice fruit. It could do with a little bit more flesh because it feels like you don't, get bang for your buck when you peel one. But the taste is fantastic, and I can see why elephants do love eating them. You see them shaking trees a lot at this time of the year to get those marulas down. Just resting on my buddy. It's time that he got fully submerged. And up he comes again. Oh, this was so, so special. The bush is so green, so vibrant. It just feels, when I think about spending time in the bush and I think about Africa, this is what I think of. Elephants having the time of their lives in this abundance of the bush. Stunning. And then to have a lioness come through. It's iconic. I couldn't have asked for a better time together. Anyway, everybody, it's time to say goodbye and say, especially thank you all so much for being the second half that makes all of this happen. Your questions and your comments mean so much to us. It lets me know that you care, and that you care about conservation, and you care about curiosity, just being curious about these animals, and sometimes just spending time with them, with me. Keep watching the cams. Thanks for those questions and those comments. I'll see you again. I'll see you on Thursday, but I'll see you again for the Tuesday Africam Show again next week. Alrighty, bye everybody.